Today's discussion is brought to you by Skip Benton with Coldwell Banker Select Real Estate, covering Northern Nevada.
Oh, thanks.
So you're thinking about some home upgrades for the new year,
Yeah.
maybe to boost your property value,
Right.
or just make your space more enjoyable. Well, you've come to the right place.
Absolutely.
We've got some hot tips straight from the experts at My Select Life.
Oh, nice.
They've compiled a list of 8 upgrades that are expected to be big in 2025.
Wow.
Ever wonder if those smart home gadgets are actually worth the investment?
Yeah.
Or which renovations give you the biggest bang for your buck?
Uh-huh.
Well, we're going to break down which ones give you the biggest bang for your buck and which ones might be more hype than substance.
Right.
So what's really interesting here is this shift towards upgrades that not only increase a home's value, but also enhance the lifestyle of the homeowner.
Yeah.
It's not just about impressing potential buyers anymore.
Right.
It's about creating a space that truly reflects your values and priorities. Okay, so the article starts with the classics, kitchens and bathrooms.
Of course.
It says kitchen remodels can yield a whopping 70 to 80% return on investment.
Wow.
But it also mentions that specific upgrades like quartz countertops can recoup nearly 90% of their cost at resale.
That's incredible.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So why do kitchens consistently see such a high return?
Well, they are the heart of the home, right? They're where we gather, cook, and connect. So naturally, buyers are willing to pay a premium for a well-designed and functional kitchen. But it's not just about throwing in granite countertops and calling it a day, right?
Exactly. There are strategic upgrades that make more of an impact than others.
Right.
What are some of those?
Absolutely. The article emphasizes that focusing on quality materials and timeless design elements is key.
Okay.
For instance, while quartz is popular now, going with a classic subway tile backsplash instead of a trendy pattern tile will likely age better.
That makes a lot of sense. Speaking of creating spaces that people can enjoy, the article highlights the increasing popularity of outdoor living. They even mention that adding an outdoor kitchen can significantly increase your home's entertaining space and value.
That's a trend we're seeing across the board. People are extending their living spaces beyond the 4 walls of their homes. Think about it. A patio with comfortable seating, a fire pit for chilly evenings, or even an outdoor kitchen can transform your backyard into a year-round oasis.
Okay, I have to ask.
Yeah.
For those of us who aren't ready to commit to a full-blown outdoor kitchen, what are some smaller scale upgrades that can still make a big impact?
Well, the article suggests adding features like fire pits, pergolas, or even built-in seating.
Right.
It's all about creating inviting and functional spaces that enhance your lifestyle and appeal to potential buyers.
Okay.
For instance, imagine an outdoor space with a pergola draped in vines and a built-in fire pit. Suddenly, you have a magical space for entertaining or simply enjoying a quiet evening outdoors.
I can already picture myself roasting marshmallows with friends and family.
Exactly.
But with all this talk about expanding our living spaces, I can't help but think about energy efficiency. Are those upgrades still as relevant as they were a few years ago?
Energy efficiency is more relevant than ever.
Okay.
The article stresses that buyers are increasingly prioritizing environmentally friendly features and cost savings.
Right.
Think about it, a home with energy-efficient appliances, proper insulation, and maybe even solar panels can save you money on utility bills and reduce your carbon footprint.
So while those upgrades may not be as flashy as a new kitchen, they can offer substantial long-term benefits.
Exactly. And they align with a growing awareness of sustainable living, which appeals to a wider range of buyers.
Okay, before we move on to other upgrades, let's dive a little deeper into smart technology.
Okay.
It's something I've been curious about, but is it just a fad? Or is it something that genuinely adds value to a home?
That's a great question. The article highlights that smart home technology isn't just about having fancy gadgets. It's about creating a more convenient, secure, and energy-efficient living experience.
Okay.
Imagine a home that adjusts the temperature automatically based on your schedule, or a security system that alerts you to any unusual activity.
Okay.
That's peace of mind and efficiency rolled into one.
That sounds amazing. But some people are hesitant about relying on technology in their homes. Is this something that's truly here to stay, or is it just a passing trend?
Well, the article points out that smart home technology is becoming increasingly integrated into our lives.
Hmm.
Think about it. We already use apps to control our music, our thermostats, even our cars.
Yeah.
It's a natural progression for our homes to become smarter as well. And as technology advances, it becomes more user-friendly and affordable, making it accessible to a wider range of homeowners.
You're right. It seems like the convenience and control offered by smart home technology are becoming more and more appealing.
Mm-hmm.
And let's not forget about the energy savings.
Exactly. Smart thermostats, for example, can learn your habits and adjust the temperature accordingly, reducing energy waste. And smart lighting systems allow you to control individual lights or even set schedules to optimize energy use. It's all about making your home work smarter, not harder.
So we've covered kitchens, bathrooms, outdoor spaces, and smart home technology.
Right.
What else is on the list of must-have upgrades for 2025?
Let's talk about something that can drastically change the look and feel of your home.
Okay.
Flooring. It's often overlooked, but upgrading your floors can have a huge impact on both aesthetics and functionality.
You're telling me. I once replaced old, worn-out carpeting with hardwood, and it transformed the entire space. It felt brighter, more modern, and infinitely more stylish.
Oh, wow.
But I know there are so many different flooring options available. What are some of the trends the article highlights?
The article emphasizes the importance of choosing durable and easy-to-maintain materials. Hardwood is always a classic choice, but luxury vinyl plank is becoming increasingly popular because it offers the look of hardwood with added durability and water resistance.
So if you have pets or kids, luxury vinyl plank might be a good option to consider. What I find fascinating is how a simple flooring upgrade can affect the overall ambiance of a space.
It absolutely can, and it's not just about the material itself. The color, texture, and pattern of your flooring can all play a role in creating the desired atmosphere.
Speaking of creating atmosphere, let's not forget about the power of lighting.
Yeah.
I mean, the right lighting can make or break a room, don't you think?
I completely agree. The article stresses the importance of creating layers of light, using ambient lighting for overall illumination, task lighting for specific activities, and accent lighting to highlight architectural features or artwork.
I love that. It's not just about having enough light. It's about using light strategically to enhance the mood and functionality of each space.
Precisely. Imagine swapping out those boring old flush mount ceiling lights for a stylish chandelier or pendant lights, or adding dimmer switches to create a cozy ambiance in the evenings. Even something as simple as strategically placed lamps can make a huge difference.
This is all starting to paint a very stylish picture.
Yeah.
But we've got one more crucial element to cover. Curb appeal.
Yeah,
They say you only get one chance to make a first impression.
that's so true. And the article emphasizes that landscaping is the first thing potential buyers see when they approach your home. A well-maintained lawn, colorful plantings, and an inviting walkway can make all the difference.
It's about setting the stage, creating that initial sense of welcome and beauty.
Exactly. Think about it. Would you rather approach a home with a lush green lawn and blooming flowers, or one with overgrown weeds and a cracked driveway?
Yeah, the choice is clear. But landscaping isn't just about aesthetics. It also has practical implications, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It can increase privacy, reduce noise pollution, and even improve energy efficiency by providing shade for your home.
Wow, we've covered so much ground already, from kitchens and bathrooms to outdoor spaces, smart technology, energy efficiency, flooring, and even landscaping. It's amazing how many different ways there are to enhance our homes.
It is. And I think one of the key takeaways here is that it's not about doing everything at once. It's about choosing upgrades that align with your needs, budget, and the overall style of your home.
That's such an important point. It's easy to get overwhelmed by all the possibilities,
Yeah.
but it's crucial to prioritize and make choices that truly enhance your lifestyle and add value to your home.
Exactly. And remember, even small changes can make a big difference. You don't have to undertake a massive renovation to see a positive impact.
I love that. Small changes, big impact. Well, I think that's a great place to wrap up part 1 of our deep dive into home upgrades for 2025.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll explore some real-life examples of these upgrades in action and dive deeper into the financial aspects of home improvement.
Can't wait. You know, as we delve further into these home upgrades, I think it's important to remember that it's not just about increasing your home's resale value.
That's a great point. It's easy to get caught up in the numbers. But ultimately, these upgrades should also be about creating a space that you genuinely love and
Right.
enjoy. After all, you're the one living there.
Exactly. Whether you're planning to sell in the near future or
Mhm.
simply want to create a more beautiful and functional space for yourself, these upgrades can significantly impact your quality of life.
So it's not just about impressing potential buyers.
Right.
It's about investing in your own well-being and
Mm-hmm.
happiness.
Absolutely. And that's something that often gets overlooked. Sometimes we focus so much on what others will think that we forget about creating a space that truly reflects our own tastes
Right.
and
I
needs.
know, I've been guilty of that myself.
Hmm.
I remember agonizing over paint colors, trying to pick something neutral that everyone would like.
Hmm.
But you know what? I ended up choosing a bold, vibrant color that I absolutely loved.
Oh, wow.
And it completely transformed the energy of the room.
That's a perfect example.
Yeah.
It's about having the confidence to choose what you love and creating a space that feels authentic to you.
I love that. So
All right.
before we wrap up this deep dive, let's revisit some of the key takeaways
Okay.
from our discussion today. We've covered a lot of ground, from kitchens and bathrooms to outdoor spaces.
Yeah, we have.
Smart technology, energy efficiency, flooring, lighting, and even landscaping.
It's amazing how many different aspects of our homes we can enhance. But if we had to distill it down to just a few key takeaways for our listeners,
Right.
what would they be?
Well, I think one of the most important things to remember is that even small upgrades can make a big difference. You don't have to undertake a major renovation to see a significant improvement in your home's value and appeal.
That's so true. Sometimes it's the small details that make the biggest impact.
A fresh coat of paint, new cabinet hardware, or even updated light fixtures can completely transform the look and feel of a space.
I completely agree. It's encouraging to know that we don't have to break the bank to create a more beautiful and functional home.
Exactly. And it's also crucial to choose upgrades that align with your needs,
Right.
budget, and the overall style of your home. Don't try to force a trend that doesn't fit your lifestyle or aesthetic.
That's great advice. It's all about creating a space that feels authentic and true to you. Speaking of authenticity,
Yeah.
I think it's essential to consider both the functional
Uh-huh.
and aesthetic aspects of our upgrades. A beautifully renovated kitchen is fantastic,
Hmm.
but if it's not practical for your needs, it's not going to be truly enjoyable to use.
You're so right. It's all about finding that perfect balance between form and function.
Precisely. It sounds like these home upgrades are more than just superficial changes.
Yeah.
They're opportunities to create a space that truly reflects who we are and how we want to live.
Beautifully said. And that's something worth investing in. Well, on that note, I think it's time for us to wrap up part 2 of our deep dive. Stay tuned for part 3, where we'll shift our focus to the financial aspects of home improvement and offer some practical tips for budgeting and planning your upgrades. So we're back for the final part of our deep dive into home upgrades for 2025.
Yeah.
Now, we've talked about all these amazing upgrades, but I know what you're thinking.
What's that?
How much is all this going to cost?
Right.
Let's shift gears and get down to the financial side of things.
Yeah, let's do that.
So what does the article say?
Planning your budget is crucial before diving into any home improvement project. The article suggests a few helpful strategies.
Okay.
First, determine your must-haves versus your nice-to-haves.
Okay.
Prioritizing essential upgrades that add value, like that kitchen remodel, might be a better initial investment
Right.
than, say, installing a fancy home theater system.
That makes a lot of sense. It's all about being strategic with your spending, especially in today's market. But even with careful planning, unexpected expenses can pop up.
Right.
How can we avoid blowing our budget?
The article recommends building in a contingency fund for unexpected costs.
Okay.
Think of it as a financial cushion for those unforeseen surprises that inevitably arise during renovations.
Okay.
Aim for around 10 to 20% of your overall budget, just in case.
Okay. So we've prioritized, we've got our contingency fund, but sometimes even those careful calculations aren't enough to cover the costs.
Right.
What are some financing options available for homeowners who need a little extra help?
The article mentions several options, including home equity loans, personal loans, and even refinancing your mortgage. Each option has its pros and cons, so it's important to do your research and choose the best fit for your financial situation.
That's a great point. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation. And speaking of fitting, let's bring it back to those specific upgrades we talked about earlier.
Okay.
What are some creative ways to achieve those high-impact transformations without breaking the bank?
One suggestion from the article is to consider DIY projects for smaller scale upgrades. A fresh coat of paint, for example, can dramatically brighten a room and give it a whole new feel without requiring a professional. But remember, safety first.
Right.
Always research thoroughly and be realistic about your abilities before tackling any DIY electrical or plumbing work.
I've definitely learned that lesson the hard way. Sometimes it's worth calling in the professionals. But for those projects you can tackle, DIY can be a great way to save money and add a personal touch.
Absolutely. And another budget-friendly tip from the article is to focus on cosmetic upgrades rather than major structural changes.
Okay.
Replacing outdated cabinet hardware, updating light fixtures, or even adding new throw pillows and curtains can have a surprisingly big impact on the overall look and feel of a space.
It's amazing how those seemingly small details can completely elevate a room. And it's a much more manageable approach than, say, knocking down walls or adding an extension. But even with all these tips and strategies, it's still essential to weigh the cost and potential return on investment before diving into any upgrade.
You're absolutely right.
So it's not just about picking upgrades we love.
Yeah.
It's about making smart choices
Yeah.
that will ultimately benefit us in the long run.
Right.
Whether we're staying in our homes or planning to sell. What a fascinating and informative deep dive. Any final thoughts for our listeners who are ready to embark on their home upgrade journey?
Remember, your home is your sanctuary. Choose upgrades that reflect your personal style, enhance your daily life, and bring you joy.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to get creative, think outside the box, and make it truly your own.
Beautifully said. Big thanks to Skip Benton with Coldwell Banker Select Real Estate in Northern Nevada for bringing us today's deep dive. Until next time, happy upgrading.